Let's kick some ass, god damn it. Let's be us. Let's be name of pod.
Name of pod.
Keep it odd. Name of pod.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Name of Pod, where today we are going down the rabbit hole and discussing conspiracy theories. Yeah, we all know some of the really fun classics, and some harmless stuff like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, even Paul is Dead, if y'all are Beatles fans. But when we get beyond aliens and rock stars and monsters, we get to things that become quite a bit more serious. Stuff like even the moon landing being staged, or going even much further with conspiracies surrounding the ideas behind JFK's assassination. However, even some of these examples would seem very innocuous compared to what has happened since and what is happening now. So let's get into it, guys. In just the past few years alone, we have experienced a really unprecedented rise in some really batshit levels of crazy concerning everything from COVID. Like even Right Said Fred had a weird theory about the vaccines, but we'll get to that later. We have the big lie surrounding the 2020 election that resulted in the events of January 6th. All of this QAnon nonsense, and it just keeps going. So Robert found a really, really interesting one. And Robert, to get us started, why don't you tell us about the latest one concerning the World Health Organization?
No, thanks. Yeah, conspiracy theorists were having they were all at Twitter this week. Sorry. After the
Unintended.
Yes, Epic Times and many other conservative sites published a story claiming that President Joe Biden had signed away our country's sovereignty by allowing the World Health Organization to take over our pandemic policy. When I first heard that from a friend, hey Dan, how you doing? I generally trust Dan, but he hangs out with a lot of conspiracy theorists sometimes. And when I heard it, I had an immediate response, which is simply bullshit. There's no fucking way that an administrative branch of the United Nations, which has, let me remind you, no jurisdiction in the United States, could take over our country's policies.
Right.
So the next day, I'm on Twitter and I see the article pop up. I didn't see the actual article pop up. Somebody posted a screenshot of the headline.
That's how they always do. Every time.
Yeah, why don't these? Did they not know about Google? Conspiracy theorists, please. Google, you can get it on any phone or just your favorite web browser. Do a search.
It'll take you
seconds. Yeah.
It'll take you 10 seconds to look.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Takes nothing. Anyway, I immediately did a Google search, and within seconds, I had multiple sources saying fact checkers had already debunked the claim. For example, the Accord, first, it's only a draft proposal, so nothing's been signed. It won't even be voted on for another year. On top of that, the draft has specific provisions that say that the states in the United States cannot be forced to follow any of the recommendations. There is a particular Georgetown professor who helped write the proposal, and he said it does not dictate to any country how it should make domestic health policy. In particular, the WHO does not gain any power over states. What the proposal does do, however, it encourages, doesn't require global cooperation in responding to a pandemic.
What a novel idea.
Yeah, and as another expert said, the treaty calls for action the United States would have done anyway. Like, let's have a sufficiently large and well-trained healthcare workforce to respond to any pandemic and have regulatory systems in place to prevent the distribution of counterfeit medications. Oh, what novel ideas.
Again, what novel ideas.
Yeah. To me, those all sound like...
Yeah. Where am I going to get my fentanyl?
I guess you'll have to go to Canada, Jeremy. So, like I say, those all sound like good ideas to me. You know, the global cooperation wouldn't be a bad idea when everybody's fighting a deadly disease.
Right.
And it's certainly better than drinking bleach and jamming a glow stick up my ass like
Cheeto.
Yeah, the commander.
The Cheeto recommended. The commander in Cheeto's recommended.
Cheeto, yeah, said I should do that.
You know who we're talking about when we say Cheeto. We're not talking about the delicious chips.
There's no question.
Yeah, that's right.
Another red flag was the article had already been released on Facebook and it generated over 6,000 shares.
And
I'm like, you know what? I know Facebook, and that's a red flag right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know, I think that maybe that's what Donald Trump was really talking about when he said fake news.
The
other interesting thing to me, anyway, was when I replied to the original tweet and, said, well, here's a fact check. They said, well, I'm a libertarian, and I'm pretty sure they're an obvious Trump fan. And they said, your source is unreliable. Well, my source was USA Today. And I was like, well, I could have, posted a similar article from PolitiFact or Snopes.com. But I figured someone who supported Trump, who I'm pretty sure told more lies in 4 years than any other politician in history.
I think we could fact check that, but I think it's
true. Seriously, Nixon's jealous.
Yeah.
And Nixon's like, God damn it. Why didn't I think of this shit?
I mean, this may be the most lying politician in history, and that's saying something in the United States. Well, anyway, somebody who supports that kind of person, I don't think they'd be very open-minded, so I didn't even try to convince them any further.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of gave up at that point, but I mean, come on, guys. Our country will not sign away the states' rights. You can't do that. You can't do that.
It's literally, and it is kind of funny because most of these conspiracy theorists really do love to pick and choose certain aspects of the Constitution, but then they kind of forget about the rest of it that says that shit's impossible and it's never going to happen.
I mean, not to take this to religion, but they do the same thing with the Bible too.
Right? Of course, yes.
They cherry pick and they only do whatever suits their own desires.
Yes,
that's it. Not their needs, their desires.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that they focus on. Does it suit my desire?
Jared, that's a really, really good way to get into this next bit because this story about the World Health Organization is like annoying. It wouldn't necessarily like hurt anybody, but when we're talking about conspiracy theories, we kind of need to dive into the depths of hell that Robert and I have been reading about for the past 48 hours, and it exploded my brain. But these are, the more nefarious examples of what misinformation can do and what it can result in. Because, again, we're not talking about Bigfoot here, we're talking about things like Pizzagate. I think everybody remembers that one. Some Illuminati Democrat cabal was, I don't know, killing
were
children or
sucking
something
out the pineal glands of children in
in pizza
some
shops.
Pizza joint.
pizza
Like,
shop.
yeah.
Hey,
But-
if you want to take children, and kidnap them, go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese. You don't go to some single place, that
In the
some
middle
random
of
guy.
in some
Dude, Chuck
random
E.
dark
Cheese-
neighborhood in New Jersey. What the
Those
fuck?
animatronic things scared the piss out of me as a kid.
I know, me
You know?
too. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. That alone would keep you away from the baddies if there's baddies at the pizza shop. Like, what the
Oh,
hell?
for real.
Jesus.
For
I
real.
mean,
No, those things were
That was some of,
terrifying.
and if we didn't think that was, if stuff like that stupid example isn't ridiculous enough, it gets even worse. And this is where I hate this, but we have to talk about Alex Jones.
Ugh.
I know he's the worst. And we've read a few different articles about this. I am using examples that I've cited from Robert and I have both read a very, very lengthy article from one of our most favorite and trusted sources, the Southern Poverty Law Center. So
Fake news.
they were, yeah, right. They were
Yeah.
talking about and the reason they put this whole article together is because they were putting together all of the different defamation cases that have been brought up against him because of the misinformation and the conspiracy theories that he spreads. And this will be a trigger warning moment because unfortunately we do have to discuss school shootings.
Yeah.
The
most horrible thing he's done, honestly. Like,
yeah, it is
some horrible stuff, and that one's top notch.
Yeah, and he had already done a lot of really, really nasty stuff. And I don't think we even have time. We could talk about this for 3 days, like the nasty stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
But I do want to focus a little bit on the most egregious, which is saying that people that are victims of these mass shootings, who have lost their children or loved ones, are crisis actors, and that these people, nobody died, and and it's all because of
He
guns.
mocked their
and,
suffering.
Yeah,
He mocked their
yeah.
suffering.
And he always blames the government. It's an actually, they're all government operations.
Yeah. He that was one of the biggest ones, and this was one of the ones that blew my mind today when I was reading through all of it. And there are quotes, and y'all can look them up. This being planted, like liberals are planting these events so that they can make stricter gun laws. That is like that. Yeah. That's what he was saying.
Well, that's one of the things about Alex Jones. He makes these incredible claims about horrible apocalyptic things that are going to happen.
Yep.
But his accuracy rate is, and he's been on the air for what, 20 years?
Yeah.
His accuracy rate is incredible. It's like 3% of the stuff he says is going to happen.
Out of the billions of bullshit he spews. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, that's the other thing. I'm like, here's the main conspiracy theory. I'm sorry, I have to bring this up because one of the things that absolutely blew my mind today was I didn't know how old Alex Jones is.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that he is only 5 years older than me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh damn!
I am not ashamed to tell the pod that I and our listener, I'm about to be 44 years old.
Mm-hmm. And I'm about
this
to be
man
46.
is 49. No, there's the big lie. That's the big lie. It's not January 6th. It's his age, because there's no way that man is under 65 years old. How the hell is he only 49 years old?
No, how the fuck are you a late Gen X? That doesn't make sense.
That's the other part that doesn't make sense. I'm just like, see, aliens from other planets. The bad ones from Doctor Who taking over people.
You guys remember Jesse Ventura when he was doing the whole FEMA camp thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually had footage to back up what he was saying, though. That's the one thing. Like, he got shut down real fast.
Jesse wasn't totally crazy.
I don't think he was either. I mean, he showed video footage. Like they would sneak into places, obviously illegally, and he filmed a lot of footage of FEMA camps having like these like Rubbermaid fucking coffins and piles. Do you remember any of this?
Vaguely, yes.
And then he got shut down and silenced real fast. Real fast.
And he's still around.
So, well, of course he's still around, but he's no longer the governor, and he's no longer, as far as I know, no longer showing any. There's conspiracies that are more than just, make believe.
Well,
right.
He popped up a couple of weeks ago, but basically he's not relevant anymore.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
and that's the dangerous thing about Alex Jones. It's like he's going, even with this trial where, I mean,
I don't believe
God, he has to pay like, what is it, $1 billion? It's literally $1 billion to the families of the collectively, victims. Like all together between.
Yeah. But my point though was that, like, okay, so why is he still out there? Is it because they don't feel he's a threat? And Jesse Ventura was a threat? Because in a lot of ways, Jesse Ventura was doing the same thing Alex Jones was, but was providing proof behind what he was saying.
Jesse Ventura, I believe Jesse Ventura actually believed he was trying to do the right thing. Alex Jones is a fucking narcissist.
Yes.
He wants to make as much money as he can.
Yes.
He sells nutritional supplements that don't
do anything. Yeah.
Don't do a goddamn thing. He sells videos and crap that has no sporting evidence. And of course, when the word came down that he was going to lose these judgments in court, suddenly they transferred $54 million of the money in his accounts to various shell corporations, and then filed bankruptcy.
Yep.
I mean,
and I do love that the judge says you can't use bankruptcy to get out of this. You owe these people a lot of money. And it's not in just his damage that he did and the way he hurt these families. We now have other people who are in Congress who believe his bullshit.
Yep.
And, Q Marjorie Taylor Greene, who harassed survivors of the Parkland shooting. There was video
but she backpedaled on that one real quick.
Oh no, but there's video of it and it's not going anywhere because shout
You're
out
busted,
David Hogg.
You're busted, woman. We know.
Yeah, no, shout out to David Hogg, who has been doing wonderful work and such a brave young man. There is video of her literally harassing him as he's going to class, and it is disgusting and ridiculous. And
she is disgusting and ridiculous.
Well, yeah.
MGT, I hope you're listening.
No, she'd never listen to us, but if she heard it for half a second.
I said MGT like management. That was a slip.
Oh, the slip.
Well, by the way, I saw today there was a post where David Hogg actually Twittered asking if any Republicans would work on them to increase funding to look into ways to solve the everybody knows, don't they, that gun violence causes more deaths of children than any other cause, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's actually a fact.
I mean, and by the way, those who don't know, David was one of the people who survived the Parkland shootings in Florida.
Yes.
And apparently he's working to try and, as any of us would if we'd been there, try and do something about the gun violence. And he just got savaged by Second Amendment advocates. It was just constant. I was so ashamed of those people
insane.
to attack a person who was a child when the attack happened, and hope he didn't get shot to death. And then he comes out and says, I think we should do something about gun violence. And I go, shut up. It's my right to have a gun. But that's not what he's asking. He's asking for solutions.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody's trying to take your guns.
No.
All right.
We don't give
Calm
a shit
the
about
fuck down. It's not about taking your guns.
No.
It's about regulating who gets them.
Yeah.
Which ones, honestly, because I mean, granted, there are a lot of guns that are available that should not be available. I'm sorry.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
We have more guns in this country than we have people. And that's
true.
Fine. Go ahead. Have all the guns you want. But you know what? That neighbor who talks about, I'd sure like to shoot me up. That guy maybe shouldn't have
a gun. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a slingshot is even a far press for somebody like that, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, because here now, and guys, this is great. This is where we get to something else that I really wanted to bring up, because again, Alex Jones had a lot to do with riling a lot of folks up about January 6th.
Did you notice that he was there?
He was there.
And he was actually there that day. I learned that recently. I did not know that previously. But was I shocked? No. No, not remotely. I learned a little more about the
one
subpoenas.
that organized it.
Yeah, like also learning about a little more about the subpoenas from the January 6th committee and the very specific ways in which he did not cooperate. And yet somehow he's still kind of broadcasting. Again, I don't know how this is possible. But yeah, getting a bunch of people riled up who, like Robert was just saying, maybe some of these people should not have guns. And maybe that's the people that would actually march on our nation's capital because they were lied to and told that an election was stolen.
Yep.
And
we're not talking about you, Rittenhouse, or are we?
Yeah, right? Like, Jesus. But it's thanks for getting that one in there, Jared. That was good. But yeah, maybe these people shouldn't have guns. Because if you think that's a good idea, I don't know what to tell you.
I also want to mention about Alex Jones in January 6th. Yes, he was subpoenaed by the January 6th.
He was, yes.
Committee.
Yes.
And he tried to fight it, but eventually they got him in. And 100 times he invoked the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
Right not to incriminate yourself.
Right.
But then he apparently, this is my understanding, he did say that he would give them information, but he would not admit to guilt. But he also wanted immunity from prosecution. Now, I'm not a legal expert, but if I say I'll talk to you, but you can't prosecute me for what I say, that gives me a clue that maybe you weren't just really, above board with this.
Yeah. That's some like mob level shit. I'll be the rat, but
right?
You gotta save me.
You gotta watch my back.
Put me in the witness protection program.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Such a slime. After I read that, I had to take a shower, and I think there's still.
I did too, dude. I was like,
I can see it on you.
It is,
dude. I told Robert earlier. I got done reading it, and I was like, dude, I knew it was bad, but god damn it, I'm like, I never start drinking whiskey this early, but I actually need a shower right now. I'm gonna go take a shower. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't need to drink whiskey, but I would gladly take 3 or 4 shots after this.
Oh my god. My brain was melting.
That guy. Oh, and let me remind everybody, he is from my great state of Texas.
Of course he
Yeah,
is.
but he's from Austin. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, born in Dallas, and then
I'm sorry. It's either Texas, Tennessee, or Florida. It's one of the three. It has to be.
No,
he's from Texas. He's from Texas.
Texas all the way.
No, I'm saying it's always somebody from there.
Yeah,
and Tennessee just actually got on that bill, because I would have just said Texas or Florida, but Tennessee, they worked their way into that into my mind now. Like, yeah, fuck you guys too. Fuck you guys too.
Oh, god damn, yes.
Well, because, okay, so speaking of these states, guys, this is where conspiracy theories and really, really bad things end up happening because of levels of, just sheer misinformation and the unintended consequences of, the type of rhetoric that is going on here. Robert, you were telling me about the bill in Texas.
Yeah.
That is similar to what's going on in Florida and Tennessee. They hate drag queens, but they're really trying to just get rid of trans people.
Yeah, there's this freshman Republican state representative. His name's Nate Schatzline.
Schatzline.
Yeah, Schatzline.
Awesome.
Is that what you're on? Is that like
I'm
when
12.
You were Whitey's where you get that little skid mark?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
is that a stat line?
Sorry, we're 12. Can't help it.
You may agree that that's what he is after I tell you this story.
Okay.
Yeah, he was elected last year for the first time. Represents an area north of Fort Worth, and he's gained his reputation for being oppositional to trans and gay issues. And so he, on January 11th, he filed a bill ahead of this year's legislative session in Texas. And what it seeks to do is define gay drag performances. And
thank you for correcting yourself, because you do not have to be gay to do drag.
No, has nothing to do with that.
In fact, there are many straight people, men and women, that do drag.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But this House Bill 1266.
This is the one that you had sent me, right?
Yes.
Yes, I looked over it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Essentially, it it defines drag performances, and the definition is that if you perform in a costume that's contrary to what your gender on your birth certificate says, then you're a drag performer. Now, it doesn't.
Shakespeare's rolling in his grave right now.
Shakespeare's rolling over.
Yes. It does not say live performances. It doesn't specify any of that. But it says that if that happens, if that occurs in an establishment that sells alcohol, no one under 18 can enter that establishment. Okay. I don't want you taking your 3-year-old to babysit them at the Timeout Gentlemen's Club in Tyler. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But we can take them to Hooters. Why not?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
We all agree with that.
Yeah.
But you take your kid to Hooters, and Monty Python's Spam episode comes on with Terry Jones as the waitress.
Yeah.
Guess what? Hooters becomes a sexually oriented business, and no one under 18 can be in there. Same thing with your Applebee's. If you take your 17-year-old to the Texas Trust CU Theater in Grand Prairie, great venue, by the way, to see Eddie Izzard, their favorite comedian, who always appears in drag, then they'd have to turn him away. Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Wait, please.
No, hang on. No one under 18.
Eddie does not appear in drag.
That's right.
Okay, Yeah,
But they
nobody.
would still say that no one under 18
They would say that. They would say
would
that.
be allowed to see Eddie because Eddie is a transgendered woman
I
who
didn't know that.
associates
Okay.
Right.
who associates as she uses female pronouns. But she prefers to perform in more traditional women's clothes, and she dresses appropriately for her age because tastefully, like a nice little jacket and a skirt with some pumps, and just
a skirt suit.
Yeah, skirt suit, because Eddie prefers a skirt, and can't say I blame her because breeze, it's nice. So like with Eddie though, and it is a fair point though, Robert, because while Eddie is not technically in drag, they wouldn't agree with her identification either.
Well, I just want to point out that under the way this law is written, this House bill is written, it wouldn't matter if because it only addresses gender identity based on what were you born at? What does it say on your birth certificate? And if you don't wear the right costume, then you're a drag performer. Well, you couldn't go to Alamo Draft House and see Marlene Dietrich's seminal 1934, I think it was, film Morocco, because she dresses in a tux and tail,
and it's gorgeous.
and it is. It's a wonderful movie. But no, you'd be a sexually oriented business.
And I love that you said costume.
Yeah.
I love that you said costume, Robert, because as the legendary RuPaul has said, we are all born naked and the rest is drag.
Yeah.
We're really only dressing ourselves up.
We're
all born naked and the rest is drag. So
you'd be happy to know, by the way, I actually watched.
Please, RuPaul, don't sue me for quoting you because I have no money. Let's go from dangerous information to just some fun facts. So we did say earlier that we were gonna have a little fun fact about Right Said Fred. So Robert, this is your fun fact for this week.
Thank you, Drea. Look, most people remember a 1991 hit by an English group called Right Said Fred. Their single, I'm Too Sexy, went to the top of the charts in the US. Most people now make fun of the record. They consider the song something of a novelty. And Right Fred said, to our minds in America, it's a one-hit wonder. But it may surprise you just how deep the depth and breadth of their musical talent is. And you may be even more surprised they're still actively recording today. Right Said Fred was started by two brothers, Richard and Fred Fairbrass. Richard was the lead vocals and played bass, and Fred was on guitar. One of the most surprising things was they've been professional musicians since the mid-70s. And they were even the supporting act for Joy Division in the early 80s at the legendary Factory Club in Manchester. And they were no slouches, I'm telling you. Both worked as session musicians. Richard even played bass for Boy George, Mick Jagger, and David Bowie. And Fred played his guitar on an 87 Bob Dylan album.
Shit. Wow.
Now, we didn't hear about Right Said Fred until 1991. But they got their name from a novelty song that was popular in England in 1972. And it was sung by Bernard Cribbins. And most of us will go, who the hell is that?
No, but I know who he is.
If you remember the Faulty Towers episode, where a spoon salesman was mistaken for a health inspector, that was Bernard Cribbins.
Yes, it was.
And while most of us have no idea in America who Bernard Cribbins was, he was a beloved actor from like the 60s and beyond. Just died last year and had so many tributes from so many celebrities. He was really loved. Anyway, so 1991, Right Said Fred releases I'm Too Sexy. The song is an exercise in self-love with a memorable chorus of, come on guys, sing it with me.
Okay. I'm a model, you know what I mean.
When I
my little
no way I'm disco dancing.
Everybody knows that.
And I'm too sexy for this song.
Yeah. Oh, boom. Right. Yeah.
Well, the thing I didn't know until recently was the brothers owned a gym in London.
What?
They got the idea from the song because there were a lot of models that would show up and they would crimp and preen and pose with no shame. And the Fairback Brass brothers decided it's time we take the piss out of these people. So,
yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
So they released it on an independent label, and it was a massive hit. It reached #1 in 32 countries, including the US. And strangely enough, it only got to #2 in the UK. It stalled behind the Bryan Adams song "Everything I Do It for You."
I mean, don't even talk shit about that song. I fucking love that song.
I do too.
Oh my God, I love
but still, that's a weird #1 and #2 spot, don't you think?
Right? Yeah. Wasn't that from Karate Kid 2? I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Go ahead.
No, Everything I Do. That wasn't the.
It was
Robin Hood movie with
Robin Hood. Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Yes.
Come on now, damn it.
My bad. My bad. I remembered though. I recovered, I think.
Well, it was #2 for 6 weeks, but the song stayed in the UK top 10 for 3 months.
Shit.
And the success of the song actually pushed their debut album, which was titled Up, to #1 on the UK charts. And the album would remain in the top 40 for a year.
Nice.
It even earned the duo an Ivor Novello nomination, which is given to the very best musical acts.
Every
year.
Yeah, that's a pretty prestigious award. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I've never heard a single song from them other than that. Now I'm gonna have to look up Right Said Fred songs and
see
what they sound like.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I'm gonna get into that in a minute. The song was voted in the US the most performed college radio song of 1992.
Makes sense.
And over the years, it's been named on multiple lists as best songs of the 90s. And Blender magazine,
I remember that,
put it on its list of the 50 worst songs ever.
That's hilarious. But
I prefer the description from BuzzFeed in 2017.
Yeah, they make good lists.
And yeah, they do. It was an article about the most.
Did you say that was 2017?
2017.
Yeah.
And the article was about most memorable dance tunes, and what they said was, quote, "Yes, the song is cheesy as hell," which I agree with.
Yes.
But it doesn't ever try to be anything other than what it is. A fun, catchy, campy dance song. And
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
If you just want to have fun, put that fucking song on.
I agree with BuzzFeed on that.
I don't know a single person in real life that if I put that song on, they would not get a smile on their face and shake their ass a little bit. I mean,
right? You have to.
I don't know a single person.
It's obligatory.
Not one.
Obligatory.
Even my grumpy ass old dad would probably shake his ass.
Awesome. But there's still they still did more though, right, Robert? Like there's still more beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, in America, they sort of disappeared after that.
Right,
but
right.
they would go on to make other hit records in England during the 90s. As a matter of fact, the next year they actually won an Ivor Novello Award for a song called Deeply Dippy.
Oh.
It was their only #1 single in the UK.
Did you say Deeply Dippily? Is that what you said?
Deeply Dippy.
Deeply Dippy.
Dippy.
Deeply Dippy.
Makes me want some hummus. I don't know.
Sorry. It was their only #1 song in the UK.
Oh, damn.
But it was also the top 20 in several countries. And
wait.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm sorry. Did you just say that I'm Too Sexy wasn't a #1 over there, but it was over here?
Yes. And that this song was their only #1 single.
Wow.
In their own country.
That's I'm sorry, that's a wow, honestly.
Yeah. That is a super fun fact.
In 1992, their song Deeply Dippy did make #1 on the US dance charts.
So
it was fairly successful.
Huh.
But they kind of disappeared after that there, right?
Yeah. And they released 9 albums of original music. As well as
9? I didn't know they had 9.
Yeah, as well as 2 compilations. And the song I'm Too Sexy lives on as well. It's been
in infamy.
Well, yeah.
Go away.
That thing's carved in gold somewhere on a tablet.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been used in at least 40 movies and TV shows.
That doesn't surprise me. Not one bit.
No, doesn't surprise me either. Including the West Wing of all.
Really? Oh, I didn't know about that one. Damn, that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need to see the scene where I'm Too Sexy is used in West Wing, because I can only imagine that's got to be hilarious, like an office party or something. And that's got to be really West funny.
Wing? Sorry.
We don't even have time. We don't even have time, Gerald.
I could just see. Anyway, Right Said Fred, they're not the top artists that they once were in their homeland now, but they continue to pop up in the British tabloids. Especially last year, they made Twitter posts and other statements about their opposition to the COVID vaccine.
Oh, geez, that's where the conspiracy comes in.
And they supported an anti-climate change group with leafletting and stuff.
What the fuck?
Of course.
So weird.
Their record label tried to capitalize on that controversy by releasing a new single in May last year called Godsend.
Last year. Oh, wow.
Suddenly, I don't want to listen to any more of their music.
You were like, wait, now I need to check this out. Oh, wait, no, I don't.
Yeah, I changed my mind about earlier. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my fun and stupid fact of the week. Thanks for listening.
Oh, I love it.
That was great. That was great. I would never have known about that otherwise. So thank you.
That's such a great story. Like, I didn't know that there were that many weird things to know about Right Said Fred.
Yeah, I didn't know they were such great musicians, but they are. They're great musicians.
I also didn't know that they think that maybe bleach might work.
Don't forget the glow stick. Yeah.
Right.
You can use that for double purposes there. But yeah, do you all want to do the?
No, you hang up. You hang up.
Okay.
All of y'all hang up. I'm hungry.
Well, Jeremy, will you please lead us out by saying goodnight? Jeremy?
No. You.
Damn it, Jeremy, you know what I mean.
Hang up.
You hang up.
No, you.
No, you hang up.
No, you're the one that brought it up. You hang up.
You hang up infinity.
You hang up. God damn it. Everything I say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Hang up.
Oh my God, boys. Seriously, y'all just fucking hang up.
Okay, Jeremy has to hang
You
up.
hang up.
No, Jeremy has to hang up first.
I can hang us all up right now.
Why do I have to hang up? Yeah. See?
You know what? Hey, let's tell Drea. You hang up, Drea. How about that?
I am gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up right
Fine.
now because I'm hungry.
Do it. Do it.